And we welcome you back to Toronto, Canada on a gorgeous night for Thursday Night Football from the Rogers Center as the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills square off. Now you get a look at Perry Fewell, named head coach on November 17th, 47 years of age. Really brought a great disposition to this football team.
Yeah, and I think also he brought a little bit of looseness out there, and I think that's what you have to do right now. You can't play tight. They have a young team. They're beat up, but they're still playing at a pretty good level.
Buffalo won the toss, so Jay Feely gets week 13 of the NFL season underway. Fred Jackson averaging 26 yards a return, hit and dropped right at the 16-yard line as James Ihedebo made the tackle as Buffalo will start first and 10, led by quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. Get a look at his numbers on the season. Fitzpatrick started 13 games last year for Cincinnati. Talking with Marvin Lewis, the head coach of the Bengals, earlier this morning, he said that Fitzpatrick gained a lot of experience. He's a confident kid, plays loose and plays fast, and that should help this offense for the Buffalo Bills.
And like any quarterback in a new situation, he has to rely on the others around him. And in this case, Fred Jackson and Terrell Owens on the outside.
Two tight end formation with Fred Jackson, the lone setback from the 17. That's where Fitzpatrick, in his fourth year out of Harvard, will start first and 10. Jackson slips through a crack, gets it to the 20-yard line, picks up about 3. Marcus Douglas on the tackle for the Jets defense, which is ranked second in the NFL, giving up 15.1 points per game. When you take out, they've had 7 returns go against them as a football team, but defensively, Matt, only 15.1 points per game.
Yeah, and they're able to match up outside. And right there, you take a look at Darrelle Revis. They will match up these Bill receivers as you're looking right now. Look at both these guys up top.
On a 2nd and 7, Fitzpatrick, nobody open. He'll tuck it down and run. He's about a yard short of the first down as Douglas made the tackle.
Yeah, what we just showed you on the front end, going man-to-man up top, he's seeing the same thing. And always remember, when you get man-to-man, and that means defenders' backs are turned to the quarterback. And so if there's some green that opens up, which is what he just saw there, he'll take advantage of it.
And you saw that offensive line. This is the 8th different configuration of the offensive line so far this season. They have been ravaged by injuries. 3 receivers set. Owens to the top of your screen on a 3rd down. Fitzpatrick has a receiver. That's Lee Evans, and he's tackled at the Jets' 35-yard line.
Well, Fitzpatrick knew exactly what they were getting, and he had man-to-man on the outside, and he just ran right past him. And that's a really well-thrown ball. The only place it could be with Lee Evans, you can see Lito Shepherd got in a trail position, and the ball was just fit in perfectly.
Gain of 38. Lito Shepherd, the former Philadelphia Eagle, acquired in a trade. If Revis is going to lock up Owens, that's a matchup that Buffalo is going to go after.
And it's one that they like. And they said last night, just talking about that, they love that matchup against Lito Shepherd.
Fitzpatrick to the tight end, Jonathan Stupar, and he gets about a yard and a half. Lito Shepherd on the tackle.
You know, there had to be a lot of reconfiguration here of this Buffalo offense, particularly in the offensive line. They started off the season, they lost their tackles, they plugged people in. They started off and they played well. Came out against New England. I thought the offensive line played tremendous. And then they started to go downhill, just getting people hurt. Got a bunch of guys on IR. This is, like you said, this is the 8th configuration.
There is Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator. Remember, they got rid of Turk Schoenert during training camp. Jackson finds a cutback lane, bounces it to the 30-yard line as he picks up about 5 on the play.
Take a good look at this offensive line. It's very well coached. And right now, all they're concerned about doing is getting a hat on a hat. And if you can do that, Fred Jackson does a very good job of maintaining patience, and he presses the hole and then finds, when you start flowing, he'll come back and find the green.
Get a look at Fred Jackson. Marshawn Lynch is also checked in on this 3rd and 4 for Buffalo. Marshawn Lynch, and the Jets were not fooled. Great work by the interior of that defensive line. Calvin Pace got the first hit on Marshawn Lynch.
take a good look at that Jet defense, and they're active, and there's a lot of movement. And you see a lot of that in the National Football League now. It's not like you're just lining up and you're just going man on man and beating people. There's tons of movement. You'll see a lot of slicing inside, a lot of TE stunts, ET, all those kind of crossing things inside. That's what they caught him in right there.
Ball popped out, but Marshawn Lynch was down. So in to try a field goal is Ryan Lindell from 49 yards out, 18 of 21 on the season. Lindell with plenty of leg, and he's got Buffalo on the board. Lee Evans with a 38-yard catch got the Bills in field goal range. Ryan Lindell's 49-yarder has Buffalo in front, 3-0. Lindell will kick off for the Bills. Back deep, Brad Smith. He's only returned 2 kickoffs this year, averaging 26.5 in those 2 returns. Mr. Everything, Brad Smith. Smith will start from his own 8. Gets to the 20, runs out of another tackle, and finally knocked down at the 28-yard line. 21-yard return. Ellis Langster on the tackle. Mark Sanchez, drafted by the Jets with the 5th overall pick after they made a deal with Cleveland. Got off to a fast start. 10 touchdowns, 17 interceptions on the season. He's been sacked 20 times. He's got a good offensive line in front of him. And a fantastic running back. Thomas Jones needs 41 yards rushing for his 5th consecutive 1,000-yard season. Pro Bowler last year. Jones ran for 1,312 yards. Jets will spread the formation. Jericho Cotchery in motion. Sanchez, nice clean pocket, checks down underneath. That's the tight end Dustin Keller, wrestled down at about the 32-yard line. George Wilson on the tackle.
Well,
Gain of about 4.
Sorry, if you listen to our pregame show, this is exactly what Steve Mariucci was talking about, and with Mark Sanchez. He needs to learn to have some patience. He's got all the tools, and then if he just trusts that offensive line and takes advantage of the pocket they give him, things will be fine. That last throw, this first throw, that's exactly what he has to do.
2nd and 5. Thomas Jones knocked down after a gain of 1. Chris Kelsey on the tackle. Kelsey with 48 tackles now on the season.
Take a good look at Perry Fewell and the defensive coordinator, interim head coach, and he's brought an air of confidence, but also a little bit of looseness here, and especially defensively, you kind of see it. And as players are playing, they fly around the football. So one thing you put on tape right away, they are all over the place.
Dustin Keller goes in motion. Danny Woodhead in the backfield as Sanchez will work over center. Sanchez for Woodhead, knocked away by George Wilson. So the Jets go 3 and out.
Now he's going to have the protection and going to watch see Wood right there. That's just, he's rushing himself and doesn't have to. Just step and throw. Good mechanics, and he has himself a completion.
Talking with Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator. Steve Weatherford to punt. Roscoe Parrish back deep. It drifts into the Jet bench. Not a good punt.
Oh, it's worse than that. That was brutal.
Big following here in Toronto. A lot of football fans of many teams in Toronto. 2nd possession for the Bills from their own 38. Jackson shut down nicely by Bart Scott. No gain on the play. Bart Scott gets his 77th tackle of the season. Signed as a free agent from the Baltimore Ravens, coming along with Rex Ryan. We had a chance to visit with Bart yesterday, and pretty fired up about the potential of this defense.
Yeah, but you know what is impressive about him is he'll tell you why. A lot of guys can tell you what they're doing. Bart Scott can tell you why they're doing it. And when you have a player who understands the why part of scheme, they'll make the corrections. That's what you want. You want a lot of guys who understand the why. They'll correct themselves on the field.
Stupar in a 1-back set. Jackson takes the pitch. Takes it out to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 4 on the play. Well, last Sunday, for the first time in Jets history, no touchdowns allowed, 4 passes intercepted and 75 or fewer yards rushing allowed against Jake Delhomme and the Carolina Panthers.
Well, the thing that was impressive is that last one, 75 yards, because that Carolina team can run the football. And the Jet defense, they took that away.
Third and 5 for Buffalo. Blitz on. Bills pick it up. Late throw, nearly picked off by Shepard. Intended for Lee Evans.
And he didn't set his feet. Fitzpatrick had a blitz coming off the left side. Now Fred Jackson steps up and does a nice job of picking the thing up. And you watch him come across. He's going to pick that up right there. And then here comes David Harrison. Forces him to not set his feet. And then he has a chance to make this throw. Just get it out there. Instead he underthrows it. It could have been 6 quick.
So Brian Moorman into punt. 2-time Pro Bowler. Averaging 46.8 yards a punt. Cotchery watches it bounce at the 16. Cotchery to the 24-yard line. Really is impressive. Even if the team's not totally in the red zone, they kind of give you a look as a team that's on a good drive if nobody's actually in the red zone. Second possession for the Jets. Brad Smith on the end around. Smith to the 45 and run out of bounds at the 46-yard line for Brad Smith. His 6th rush of the year. His longest, 22 yards on the pickup.
Whenever you're going to run any kind of reverse field, you always have to get the edge. Now, Aaron Schobel looks like, when you come across the field, you have to get deep as the deepest. He does not do that. He gives good chase, but Smith beats him to the edge and gets himself a first down.
Yeah, we asked Schobel about that the other day, and he said, look, I'm worried about the dive. let somebody else have outside contain. Cotchery in motion on a 1st and 10. Sanchez under pressure, finds Cotchery, hit by Scott, but good enough for a first down to the 43-yard line of Buffalo. Gain of 12.
This is what Marshall Faulk was talking about in the pregame. He can make all the throws. This is not an easy throw. Kelsey does a good job of getting upfield, staying as deep as the deepest, get the pressure on him. On the back pedal, he's able to get that ball out there, and Cotchery picks up a first.
So after a 22-yard end around, the pass to Cotchery goes for 12. And the Jets in Buffalo territory for the first time. Thomas Jones with a cutback lane and a block. Jones to the 30. Finally knocked down on the play by Jairus Byrd.
This is what he did the first time these two teams met. He does a nice job of pressing the hole. And remember what I said earlier about this defense. They are a fast flow team. So you watch everybody get on their horse and they're going that way. And he just uses it against them and comes back and picks up another first down. It's good running with your eyes right there.
Went for over 200 yards in the first meeting. The Buffalo overtime victory. Little inside handoff to the fullback, veteran Tony Richardson. Carrying defenders, and he's finally tackled at the 10. Richardson picks up 20, his longest of the season. He only had 12 yards coming in total.
Yeah, that's Brian Schottenheimer making his call, and again, it's misdirection. When you have that fast flow, you use it against them. And so you, again, start the flow one way, and then bring Richardson back across underneath. It's well blocked on the inside, and another run for a first down.
4 consecutive plays, the Jets have picked up first downs. They spot it at the 11. They can get a first without a touchdown. Thomas Jones again. This time it's shut down by George Wilson. No gain on the play.
Well, George Wilson made the tackle, but the play was really made by Marcus Stroud. Marcus Stroud is one of those guys that he's got to play well week in and week out. He's been kind of slow, man. Kind of actually disappointed with him a little bit when you watch him on tape, but he's going to get vertical penetration right like that. Watch him. He's just going to take Mangold and shove him back up into the backfield. That forces him to be able to cut back where Wilson finishes it off.
2nd and 10 for Sanchez. To the end zone. Cotchery was open, didn't find him.
Good decision, poor execution. Well picked up, They bring a double-A gap blitz. And they come inside, and it gets picked up very well. Thomas Jones does a good job, picks up one. You're going to see, here they come. That's the double-A gap. Mangold goes one side, Jones the other, wide open. This is a six-pointer. He misses it. You cannot miss that. Those things don't come around very often.
Well, Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, told us we'll live with bad throws, not bad decisions.
Well, that was a good decision, just a poor throw.
3rd and 10. Sanchez under pressure, sack by Kyle Williams. Loss of 10.
Oh, Kyle Williams out of Louisiana State University. Just a tough guy on the inside, playing against another LSU guy, Alan Faneca. You're going to watch him. He's just going to get off the ball on Faneca, gets to the top side. That ball should come out. There's enough time to be able to make this throw. And the reason that he doesn't throw it, look at the coverage. Down the field, there's nowhere to go. And there's the sack for Williams.
Kellen Clemens to hold. Jay Feely from 38 yards out to tie it. And Feely makes his 18th field goal in 21 tries this year. Alan Faneca.
Square skating rink? That's what they used to do to me. They put me in a square skating rink and tell me to go in a circle. Got messed up all the time.
And that would definitely mess you up.
Of course. But they put me in a round one and tell me to go stand in the corner. I hate it when they did that.
Feely to kick off in a 3-3 game. Fred Jackson hit at the 20, tumbles ahead to the 23 after an 18-yard return. Marshawn Lynch in a tailback on a 1st and 10 for Buffalo. Fights ahead to the 26-yard line and picks up 3 on the play. Well, Terrell Owens, who's had 293 yards receiving in the last 2 games, 197 against Jacksonville.
Now that's good. Watch him. You know, he's talked to Fitzpatrick. Just a little bit of encouragement. He get a little. All that he's doing right now is just let him know that he's out there. Remember what he said earlier? If they're even, I'm throwing it up.
He had 96 yards receiving last week against Miami in their victory. 2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick going to get sacked back at the 19-yard line. Bart Scott gets his 2nd of the season. A little extracurricular stuff, and it's Jet ball. Ball came out, and the Jets have forced their 22nd turnover. Calvin Pace recovered it.
This is just great push up front. Now Fitzpatrick's going to try to get out. He's going to roll to his right a little bit, and then it looks like the ball looked like
the arm's coming forward. And I think Buffalo is going to review. Ask for a review. The arm is coming forward. His elbow gets hit. That should be an incomplete pass.
Remember what the rule is. Once that arm starts forward, it's considered pass, 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 pass until it stops down by the hip and the leg, and then he recocks. As long as that motion is going, it's considered a throw.
The tuck rule. Howard Green, 5th-year pro out of LSU, hit the arm of Ryan Fitzpatrick, ruled on the field a fumble. As we await the decision from tonight's referee, Scott Green.
Now I want you to watch his arm. Once the throwing motion starts right there and the ball comes out, that's an incomplete pass. It would have to go all the way through the motion until the ball would come all the way down to the leg, to the thigh area, and then you recock. And then if it's hit, then it would be a fumble.
Or if before the arm came forward with his arm back, if he gets hit, that would be a fumble, but his arm is clearly coming forward, so Scott Green will give us the decision after Buffalo challenged the play.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's arm was going forward with possession of the ball. The pass is incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 7 on the 26-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Buffalo is not charged with a timeout.
So rather than 1st and 10 for the Jets at the Buffalo 22, it's 3rd down for Buffalo.
The other thing that happens, they're not charged with the timeout, and also if they challenge again and get that one right, they get a 3rd one.
We've seen some interesting scenarios this year where teams are out of timeouts, can't challenge, lost challenges. So Perry Fuel with a challenge that saves the possession. 3rd and 7 from the 26. As Fitzpatrick takes the snap, false start against Buffalo.
Remember, this Jet defense gives you a lot of different looks. And
False start, offense, number 79, 5-yard penalty, third down.
It gets young players like Jonathan Scott, the left tackle, it gets them jumpy because you start to have to see all the movement going on, and then you see the safety up top, and he's stacked over here, which means this is a possibility of coming here. You have Calvin Pace walking around. You have to identify who you're going to block. It gets you jumpy.
First penalty of the ball game. 3rd and 12. They pick up the blitz. Fitzpatrick will not get the first down, hit and dropped at the 30-yard line. Jamal Westerman got the first hit. And then it was cleaned up by the talented third-year linebacker David Harris out of Michigan.
Well, they gave you the same kind of look. Remember, I told you that you have the safety stacked over the top. That's usually a giveaway that the guy at the line of scrimmage is going to come, because the safety over the top is the guy who has to pick up the coverage.
Jericho Cotchery back to receive Brian Moorman's punt. Good high kick. Cotchery ranges back to his 8. Bills are there, and they knock him down at the 16-yard line. Brian Scott with great coverage for Buffalo. Well, Mark Sanchez, it's been literally an up and down year. He had the 5 interceptions in the game 6 loss to Buffalo, and you know, it's kind of like what you'd expect out of a rookie, Matt.
Yeah, it's funny talking to Rex Ryan last night. He said, hey, there's some games I had to tell him, I don't have the heart for this. He said, hey, take a look at this. And that's like Rex's EKG right there. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but you can't have the big spikes.
Well, you know, they've gone to a color-coded chart to try to streamline things a little bit.
Yeah, you can see it on his wrist.
5 picks in that loss against Buffalo. Rookie Sean Green in a tailback. Sanchez has a wide open Braylon Edwards, and he dropped it.
Great decision, great throw, awful drop. Hits him right in the face. That ball is the only place it could be. I was talking to Braylon before the game. He said he's going to put on a show. This is not what he had in mind. Did he look it in? Absolutely. In fact, he looked it right into his face.
In 2007, he was a Pro Bowler with 80 catches. Last year, the drops creeped in Cleveland, and they're continuing in New York.
To be fair, that's a tough catch. Over the shoulder, you got to track it. But listen, he has the skill set to make that thing consistently. That's obviously a huge mistake.
Play clock at 1. Sanchez didn't get it off. So now you compound the drop with a delay of game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So Braylon Edwards, who had 55 catches last year in Cleveland, traded earlier this season to the Jets, had a big game in his first game down in Miami with a huge drop, of potential 84-yard touchdown off the board.
Well, they got him here to make big plays, and he certainly can do that.
2nd and 15. Sean Green to the 20, and tackled at the 23-yard line, gain of 12.
Well, you wonder how the heck did he get so open. Take a good look. He's on the top side. Looks like they're just manned up. You got a free safety in the middle, and he just drops his coverage.
Reggie Corner in for Terrence McGee, who's been battling knee problems.
And so what do you do if you're the young guy? Go over and say, hey, no big deal. We'll get it again. But the first guy who knows you screwed up is the guy who did it.
3rd and 2. Green right near the first down marker.
Looks like he's short. Look on base.
Marcus Stroud got the first hit.
Yeah, see where that official puts his hand up. He marks the progress right there. We talked about Marcus Stroud earlier. putting the tape on. He was a little disappointed. I was disappointed with his play.
He really struggled in the game against Miami last week.
And he's a powerful man who's got all the skills. He can get off the ball, he can redirect, he can shed, he's strong. But when he stands straight up and his first step is straight up, you take and negate all those qualities.
About the length of a football short of the first down, and the Jets will send out the punting unit.
So if you're a New York Jet fan, you're sitting at home, you got to be disgusted because Sanchez missed a throw in the end zone for 6, and then he had Braylon Edwards down the right side wide open, hits him in the face, and that's a drop. So there's 2 potential 6-pointers not on the board.
They'll wind the clock. After the measurement, Weatherford. High kick. Roscoe Parrish from the 29. Darts up ahead to the 38-yard line. 46-yard punt, 9-yard return. Bills will start from their own 39. Owens in motion. Screen for Jackson. Gets a block, turns the corner. Run out of bounds at the Jet 49-yard line.
Nice block out there by Jeff Hangartner, the center. Now you look at this offensive line for the Buffalo Bills, there's really been one constant, and that's been him. Jeff Hangartner, they brought him in the offseason. There's old Sean Kugler. That's an outstanding offensive line coach, and he's had his hands full this year having to juggle that offensive line. Ray Brown, his assistant, played in the National Football League for a long, long time. But the one guy they've been able to hang on to has been Hangartner at center, and then the left guard, Levitri.
This is the 8th different combination they've used this year. Jackson for a sturdy 3 yards on the carry. That is the final play of quarter number 1. Back in Toronto, the Jets and Bills tied at 3 as we get set for the start of the second quarter. Bob Papa along with Matt Millen. So glad you can join us. Big 38-yard pass play for Buffalo on their first possession. They get 3. Mark Sanchez missed Cotchery on 1 play, and then Braylon Edwards drops a potential 84-yard touchdown. What's your take of the first quarter?
Well, I think Sanchez looked like he's throwing the ball, decent, but you can't miss the one, and then he comes back and has the one, and it's dropped. I think that thing, and then the second part, I think Fitzpatrick has some freedom at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to need it because to date he's not been able to find T.O., I believe, because the coverage from Revis has been good.
On a 2nd and 8, Fitzpatrick looking for T.O., and he can't make the catch with Revis right there.
But that's a great example of what Fitzpatrick was telling us just the other day. He said, listen, if they're even, I'm going to put the ball because I trust that Terrell Owens will go up and get the ball. Now, Revis, he's a strong guy, like you heard Deion Sanders talking about. He's got the strength to be able to match T.O., and he's faster than T.O.
How about that little finish? Darrelle Revis was telling us yesterday in their first meeting, the first couple running plays of the game, he said, T.O. tried to get in my head, tried to rough me up a little bit. I hit him right back. And Owens with a little head grab right there.
Exactly. I watched that tape, and they did get after pretty good.
3rd and 8. Late blitz. Fitzpatrick hit. That's a live ball. And the Jets have it at the 36-yard line. Brian Thomas recovered it. David Harris with the strip.
Looks like he was going to try to go to T.O. again down the right sideline. He looked that way. It's a deep route. Deep routes take time to develop. And when you have the time, you got to get people blocked up. David Harris comes off that right side, does a nice job of the strip sack fumble.
First fumble of the year for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and David Harris with 5.5 sacks forces his second fumble, and it gives the offense great field position as Brian Thomas got the recovery. So Mark Sanchez in a 3-3 game will start at the Buffalo 36. Thomas Jones back in at tailback. Jones with room, tackled at the 29-yard line by Jairus Byrd.
Well, that's a touchdown-saving tackle by Jairus Byrd, the rookie safety who's playing. He's having a really good rookie year. This is just well blocked, and again, use your momentum against him. You get everybody flowing, you come back the other side. Bird's able to hang on, set up this second down.
Jets have 75 yards on the ground so far. Jones again. This time Schobel's got him for a loss of 2.
Well, they got him on the misdirection the first time, and this time they don't. And Aaron Schobel is both he and Kelsey, both those defensive ends, great effort guys. They play hard. It's important to them. They like to play physical. He has his hands full tonight with DeBrickashaw Ferguson, who's playing very, very well.
Jets are 0 for 3 on third downs, 0 for 2 between 2 and 4 yards. This is a 3rd and 4. Richardson goes in motion.
Locked up man.
Sanchez, middle of the field, and he had Edwards, who sort of slowed down a little bit going to the middle. Drayton Florence on the coverage.
Yeah, Drayton Florence had good coverage, and there was good coverage all the way around, and that makes young quarterbacks nervous. You see, well, look at the feet. See, he gets off the right side. Oh, it was tipped. The ball looked like it was tipped a little bit, but he's looking to the right side, and look at the coverage. There's nowhere to go, and then he comes back to the inside, and it's tight coverage, forces it, sets up this field goal.
Jay Feely will try from 49 to give the Jets the lead. Feely with plenty of leg, and he knocks it through from 49 yards. Terrell Owens has had one ball thrown his way. Darrelle Revis had great coverage. Jay Feely, who hit from 49 yards out to give the Jets the lead, kicks off to Fred Jackson. Jackson across the 30, thrown down at the 35-yard line. Wallace right on the tackle.
Let's go to that third down throw with Sanchez. He sees the safety in the middle of the field, but he also knows he has Braylon Edwards out here with inside position. Now, Braylon Edwards, you were right. It wasn't tipped. I was wrong. But Braylon Edwards slows his route down at the end. And then the ball is a catchable ball. You got to make that. You got to lay out and make that. But you got to run through in your route.
Did he peek at the safety, Dante Whitner?
Wouldn't have mattered. You got to still make that catch. That's what this league's about.
5th possession. 2 first downs for Buffalo so far. Marshawn Lynch carries defenders up to the 39. It's a gain of 4. Harris and Douglas on the initial hit for the Jets.
You know, there's one guy who nobody talks about and plays in this New York Jet defense who I really like a lot. That's David Harris, number 52, the kid out of Michigan. He's a tough guy. He's a standalone backer. And what I mean by that, he's a guy who will take blocks on himself and shed them. He's not afraid to be able to be in a bubble with nobody in front of him. He's a physical player.
Owens with the catch, has a first down just across the 45-yard line. Revis on the tackle for Terrell Owens, his 41st catch of the season.
Yeah, just a simple in route. He's going to do a little motion. That's good. When you got a guy who's locked up, one of the ways you get him to back off as a defender is to use motion. You start to get the motion defensively, you have to get off of it a little bit. He just goes down there and sits down.
It really is amazing with his talent level that they could not find a way to get him the ball a little bit more earlier this year. They've done it with Fitzpatrick in there. Marshawn Lynch hit by Thomas and Harris right near midfield, gain of about 5 on the play. Well, we talked about Darrelle Revis and what a season he's having for the Jets. It's Pro Bowl, it's all pro, it's everything. Look at what he's done against some of the best receivers, starting in week 1 in Houston against Andre Johnson.
Well, and Andre Johnson, and all, you know, there are some great names up here, but Andre Johnson is one of those physical guys as well as can run. Randy Moss, to me, just tilts the field better than anybody. But no matter who you put him against, Steve Smith last week, he just shuts him down.
Toss to Lynch with a head of steam. Works on Kerry Rhodes. Stays on his feet and fights to the 15-yard line. 35-yard run for Lynch, his longest of the season.
And that's the Marshawn Lynch that went to the Pro Bowl a year ago. And he's not quite back to the form that he was for whatever reason. But this is just well blocked. Nice job by Jonathan Stupar on the edge, number 88 right there. Jonathan Scott, 79, 79 does a good job, and then Lynch just with the power down the field.
You saw Kerry Rhodes come over and give sort of that half shoulder. That's what put him on the bench after the way he played against the Patriots a couple of weeks ago.
If he does more of that, he'll be on the bench again.
Lynch got a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch with his second rushing touchdown as he just ran through poor tackling.
Poor tackling and nice blocking up front. Again, left tackle Jonathan Scott just does a nice job on the defensive end. Watch him right there on your screen, number 79. He gets himself a good block, and Levitri, the left guard, really nice job. And then Lee Evans does a good job from the outside in on the safety and gives you a one-on-one for Lynch. Look at Evans, just does a good job. And Lynch just runs through Leonard, number 36.
So Lindell on for the extra point, knocks it down the middle. Buffalo with their second lead of the night. Back in Toronto, Ryan Fitzpatrick engineers a drive, capped off by a Marshawn Lynch touchdown run from 15 yards out. Buffalo with their second lead of the night, 10-6. Lindell to kick off for the Bills. Brad Smith from the 5. Takes on Lindell, who runs him out of bounds after a nice return out to the 36.
Take a good look at this again. This is all about getting a hat on a hat. Nice job by Jonathan Scott, 79. Levitri, 67. Hangartner, McIntyre, 38, the fullback. Inside, here comes another block on the outside down on the safety, and then just the power through. That was textbook in terms of assignment football. Everybody on a guy, get your rear end in the hole, and Marshawn Lynch did the best. There's the rookie Levitri. Well done, Levitri.
Buffalo averaging 104 yards rushing a game. They have 87 already. Thomas Jones fights for the 41 and picks up 4 on the play. Reggie Corner on the tackle.
And I talked to you a little bit about David Harris earlier, and now Buffalo has their own. Number 51, Paul Posluszny. He's been hurt with a broken arm a couple times, but this kid's got good instinct. He's good in the pass game, gets good disciplined drops, finds the football, good instincts all the way around.
Third year out of Penn State, second round pick in 2007.
Needs a haircut.
He's young. Sanchez under pressure, going to get sacked.
Ball's out.
Williams got him to the ground, and Scott got a hit on him, but he's ruled down at the spot back at the 32-yard line.
I didn't see a beanbag come out. They came with a blitz. Posluszny came on the inside. And here comes Kelsey around the outside, and then Williams again, who beat Faneca the first time for a sack, beats him again for a second one.
Sanchez tried to throw it at the last second to Tony Richardson.
You know, that could be an incomplete pass.
Let's see if Rex Ryan is going to challenge it. Does not. So 3rd and 15. That could. He was knocked down, Matt.
Exactly.
He threw that ball away. 3rd and long. Sanchez. He's got Edwards wide open. Makes the catch on the sideline. Is he in?
Yes.
Yes, at the 41.
And just against the zone that time. A cover 2. Safeties are down the field. He gets behind the corner in front of the safety. Here's Reggie Corner, the corner. He gets his jam, and then there's no safety should be over the top. That's a good catch.
It's a heck of a catch by Edwards. Right on the sideline, and his elbow got down before his shoulder went out of bounds. That's a good catch. Gain of 27. 1st and 10 for Sanchez. Intended for Clowney. And he was covered on the play.
And that's good coverage down the field right there.
Dante Whitner was down there. Safety help Drayton Florence with the man-to-man coverage.
You know, Drayton Florence is a good player. He can run. He can not as good as when he's coming out, but good instincts. One thing you'd like to see Drayton Florence do is tackle a little bit better. Sometimes he starts to body tackle, but he can cover. They came with another blitz, did Buffalo on this last play. Posluszny hit him right in the kisser as he let it go.
2nd and 10 at the Buffalo 41. Draw for Jones with some room. Jones to the 30. Chased down by Ryan Denny, but it's a gain of 11 and a first down Jets.
Oh, Thomas Jones. What a productive player he's been. Came into the league. They started moving him around team to team, but he settled in, was in Chicago, and also here he can run. Excellent vision. What you really like about him, he's in the hole. Good decision making.
7 carries for 35 yards. To Jones, 1st and 10 at the 30. They'll feed him again. Jones picks up another 12. Great block by the right side of the offensive line.
Yeah, Brandon Moore and Damian Woody, the guard and the tackle. And this, now just watch how the hole develops. You're going to watch it and now make the good decision. That was just patience. Real simple. Let the thing develop in front of you. And if you're going to have that kind, then you got to have a good block on your defensive end. That's Dustin Keller with a cut. And just delays him enough to be able to press that hole.
Thomas Jones has gone over 1,000 yards rushing for the 5th consecutive season. He's gone over 1,100 yards in the previous 4. And he will clearly hit that plateau this year, barring any kind of injury. Reggie Corner was shaken up on the play for Buffalo. Thomas Jones in his 10th year out of Virginia. Terrence McGee banged up. A little thin in the secondary.
They're thin everywhere. They got more guys on IR than anybody in the league. That once it hits you, man, it's just when it rains, it pours.
Let's go with their big personnel. Jones again pounds his way inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. A gain of 5 for Thomas Jones. 9 carries, 52 yards.
Yeah, this is one of the areas that Buffalo struggled in versus the rush. They're not a real big group overall. Stroud's the only guy who has real size in there. Williams has some, but he's not a monster of a guy.
Jets identifying the fact that it's a good idea to run against the Bills in the red zone. On 2nd down, Sanchez. Good coverage downfield. Now he throws it over, and it's caught by Clowney, and he's ruled out of bounds.
The officials are right on top of it. Clowney has to get both feet in bounds, regardless if he's hit or not. That's a change in the rules from 2 years ago. You're going to watch Clowney, number 87. McGee's on top of him. Now here's the throw. Oh, that's a touchdown. Looks like did he get his right toe down? There's the catch. 1 down.
Well, he lost control of the ball, though, Matt. He did not finish the catch. The ball came out.
That's a good point.
The Jets are going to lose this challenge because the ball became loose. The Jets are going to lose this review, in my opinion. Scott is ready with his verdict as Rex Ryan threw the challenge flag, and we'll show you why, even though Clowney got his feet in.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver, when he went to the ground, did not maintain possession of the ball. The pass is incomplete. New York is charged with a timeout. 3rd down.
All right, Matt, first we're going to show you the feet. This is the good part for Clowney.
There's the first part is the catch. There's 1 foot in, 2 feet in. Now back to control. The control of the ball. He has to maintain it all the way through the catch. Humberto, you had it right on the money.
Once he hit the ground, as you'll see right here, the ball is going to come out. As his elbow hits the ground, loses control. That's why it was ruled incomplete. So 3rd and 5 for the Jets. Sanchez knocked away nicely by Dante Whitner, intended for Cotchery.
Boy, that's a nice close on the ball right there by Dante Whitner. They needed a big play, and Dante Whitner came up with it right there. And he'll do it running away from him. Watch Cotchery, he's going to inside out him. Look at that. That's really well done. They were in man-to-man coverage. He took away the inside. That's what you have to do. take one thing away and force them to go another, and then you can play one thing.
Jets 0 for 2 in the red zone. Jay Feely from 31. Kellen Clemens got the high snap down, and Feely knocks it through. Jay Feely's third field goal of the night pulls the Jets to within 1 with 6:09 to go here in the second quarter. Bob Papa, Matt Millen, Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. Big game for the Jets. Terrell Owens has 1 catch so far in the ball game for 6 yards. Feely to kick off. Jackson back deep. But Jackson starts from the 1, fakes the reverse. Jackson gets out to about the 35-yard line on a 24-yard return. So Clowney was ruled out of bounds. He thought he had a touchdown. Matt, it's dangerous on the sideline.
Well, you know, we have a great camera crew. Take a look good right there. See our camera, it's Pete Stindl. You know, it's all for one. And, you know, we're a team. We're not, but hey, run away. Run away.
I got the shot. I got the shot. Oh, the heck with it.
Yeah, he's going to stay, and I'm okay. And then all of a sudden, the runaway shows up. There's Pete. That's a nice pictures, Pete.
I'm going to keep the shot. I'm going to keep the shot. Heck, I'm getting out of here.
Run away.
Eject. McIntyre and Jackson in an eye. 1st and 10 for Buffalo. It's Patrick. Nice move up to the 36-yard line. Picks up 11. As he made a nice little subtle move, Matt, to freeze the linebacker.
Yeah, he froze him, and he was able to pick up the 1st down. The other thing that he did at the end, he found McIntyre, and he just follows McIntyre and goes right down. Watch, here's a little move right there, and that freezes Bart Scott, and then he follows McIntyre's rear end right there and just gets down head first and gets the 1st.
It's Patrick. 3 carries for 25 yards.
Those are some impressive names right there.
Jackson chased down from behind by Calvin Pace. And David Harris, no gain on the play. Jackson with 6 carries for 15 yards. Lynch has been the key component with 5 carries for 58 and a touchdown. Calvin Pace missed the first 4 games due to league suspension. Has 5 sacks on the season.
You know, the Bills have some pieces of the puzzle here in place. And there's you know, you got Jackson, you got Marshawn Lynch. This offensive line speed up, they'll get people back again. That's a well-coached offensive line.
It's Patrick, nearly intercepted by Revis, intended for Owens.
You know, you see that break on that ball right there with Revis? That's a great read. All he did, had his eyes back on the quarterback. Watch the route. He's going to back off, just sitting right there in the zone. But you see how his eyes were back inside on Fitzpatrick. And as soon as he saw the throwing motion, he started his break, and he got there when the ball got there and knocked it away. Boy, he's at the top of his game right now.
Buffalo 1 for 5 on 3rd downs. This will be their 2nd 3rd down attempt of 10 yards. They failed on a 3rd and 12. 2nd attempt of 9+. They misfired on a 3rd and 12. Blitz on Fitzpatrick. Jackson gets some blocks, but not enough for a 1st down as he gets dragged down at the 44-yard line after a gain of 8. Sean Ellis made the tackle. There's Alex Van Pelt.
Who was the quarterback's coach and is now the offensive play caller.
Said, hey, look, I know Fitzpatrick does some things technically wrong, but we like sort of the leadership that he's brought to this team offensively. Jericho Cotchery back deep. Calls for a fair catch at the 14-yard line after a 42-yard punt. Jets will start from their own 14. Sanchez 3 of 10 for 44 yards. Gives to Sean Green instead. Green out across the 30 to the 31-yard line, gain of 17 on the play.
Another good job of getting the edge, and Sean Green. You know, the Jets are running for over 7 yards a carry here tonight. Just see short motion and a hat on a hat. Rickishaw Ferguson does a good job. And then Braylon Edwards does a nice job down the field. Another big game. Jets are running the crap out of the football here tonight.
9 consecutive games with at least 100 yards rushing. Back in '91, it was Blair Thomas and Johnny Hector for New York. Cotchery in motion on the 1st and 10. Sean Green again. No gain on the play. Aaron Maben, the rookie out of Penn State, the 11th overall pick, makes his 10th tackle of the season.
Needs to get bigger and stronger. So he can get the edge. He has great speed. He'll be effective when he learns how to take an inside move. He's mostly an edge rusher right now. But what happens when Maben comes into games, people like to run at him. And they're going to continue to do that until he demonstrates that he can take the run.
Second and 10. Braylon Edwards run out of bounds by Drayton Florence at the 35. It's gain of 5 on the play. Braylon Edwards with a huge drop back in the first quarter, a potential 84-yard touchdown. He was 20 yards clear of the field.
I mean, if you're looking at the Jets right now, they've wasted scoring opportunities. They missed a throw in the end zone, and then they missed Braylon Edwards deep, and then the Clowney catch was another missed opportunity.
Jets will not get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Buffalo with a 10-9 lead here in Toronto. Jets have a 3rd and 5 from their own 36-yard line. The Jets have 2 timeouts remaining here in this first half. They lost one on a challenge. Jets between 5 and 8 yards, 0 for 1 on their 3rd downs.
Looks like man.
Sanchez has Cotchery dragged down by Whitner at the Buffalo 20-yard line.
And that is a great job of the quarterback recognizing the coverage. It was man coverage. And Cotchery gets on top. Now I want you to watch where the ball is thrown. Gets on top, look at the window. That is tiny. That's a tiny window that he shoves it in.
Gain of 45 on the play. From the 19, Jones to the 14. Kelsey made the tackle.
You know, Rex Ryan's club, right? Really, they've been the dominant team here tonight, and they're down by a point.
They have 2 timeouts remaining, 1:10 to go. They've run the football very effectively.
This is where they've struggled.
They've settled for 2 field goals in the red zone. 2nd down for Sanchez. Buying time. Sanchez, middle of the field. Braylon Edwards down at the 1. Great job by Mark Sanchez to buy time. And now the Jets will call a timeout with 44 seconds to go and a 1st and goal. Well, since we're under 2 minutes, it becomes a booth review as we welcome you back to Rogers Center in Toronto on the pass to Braylon Edwards.
Well, this is what Marshall Faulk was talking about in the pregame show. He has all the tools. He has the arm strength. He can move around and run around. That might be 6 right there.
Now let's see though. Did the offhand come down?
The hand can be down. They don't count the hand. It has to be an elbow or a forearm or a knee. But if it's a hand, that's
tell.
6.
No, it's hard to tell though from that angle. We'll take one more look here. Better angle. That should be a touchdown.
That looks like 6 right. That's a great effort by Braylon Edwards. That's the show he was talking about putting on. And when he finally does, now the hand doesn't count, but when he finally does come down, the ball is already extended over the plane.
You see his left shin come down from that end zone angle. It's hard to tell if he broke the plane, but it looked like from the angle coming toward the play that he did.
And that's a good job by Rex Ryan of taking a timeout so that they could get the booth review in. See, when his shin comes down, that looks like the ball's already crossed the plane.
Take one more look at it. Got hit by corner, reaches.
Yeah, that's 6. And Scott Green, this is a good crew of officials we have here. Now this will come from upstairs.
Rex Ryan saying touchdown.
Ryan Schottenheimer saying it's a touchdown.
So they'll either be, and that's, look at Rex
That's
Ryan.
good.
He thought it was a touchdown. He went for the timeout. They had 2 before he called that one to allow the booth to get a good look at it and then buzz down for the booth review.
That's smart. It's good coaching right there. Staying on top of it, being aware. The kind of awareness he's trying to talk about with his quarterback, he has to maintain the same kind.
After reviewing the play, the runner was up with the ball in the end zone, touchdown.
Good call, Scott Green. Good job by the officials.
And a great job by Rex Ryan of calling one of his 2 timeouts to give the booth a chance to take a look at it.
He's just going to put his shoulder down, and then look at the effort. That's a fantastic effort by Braylon Edwards.
Because that hand could be down as long as no other body part touches.
Right.
He's still in play, so to speak.
There's a piece of red confetti flopping around in there. They were already celebrating before the ball got across the lane.
11th touchdown pass of the season. Hey, what? Toronto, you got to throw a little confetti.
He comes
Mark
complete.
Sanchez.
Yeah, he comes complete with confetti.
Jay Feely knocks through the extra point, so the Jets regain the lead with 44 seconds to go. Edwards with 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown.
What a great family he comes from. He told me his dad's here tonight. His dad was on top of him all the way through, and good role model. He had it his whole life, and is very invested in his kid's life. This kid has all the tools in the world to be a great one.
Well, in 2007, he had a great season, Pro Bowl season, with 80 catches for 1,200 yards and 16 touchdowns.
It's consistency that you look for. The great ones have consistency. Year in, year out.
Bills have 3 timeouts remaining. Good kickoff by Feely. Jackson's going to run it out. Fakes a little reverse, but there's no one there. He lost the ball, but the Bills recover it back at the 18-yard line. Brad Smith got a hit. Todd Johnson recovered it. It was spotted at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, Fred Jackson, he's going to put the power game in. That ball's out. That is a free ball, and it's recovered there alertly by Todd Johnson. Here comes the hit right there.
How good a player is Brad Smith? So with 37 seconds to go and 3 timeouts, Fitzpatrick, middle of the field, had Lee Evans, but he skipped it as Fitzpatrick took a hit.
You said it right, though. He did have Lee Evans. And now somebody's limping off the sideline there. That Bills offensive line.
Kirk Chambers.
Kirk Chambers, a right tackle. I've never seen. I mean, like I said earlier, when it rains, it pours, but they have had more people hurt in this offensive line.
Jamon Meredith will come in at the right tackle spot. 2nd and 10. We'll just give it to Jackson. Hit by Howard Green and brought down after a gain of 1.5 yards. Buffalo's offensive line woes sort of match what happened to Cincinnati 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Marvin Lewis, when they were totally devastated. As you get a look at Kirk Chambers in his 5th year out of Stanford, nicked up, and Buffalo need not run another play here in the first half as Chambers will limp off to the locker room. Jets will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter as Ryan Lindell will get set to kick off from Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. The Jets at 5-6. When you look at the AFC playoff picture, probably need to win out and get to 10 wins in order to be in the conversation for a playoff spot. Short kick by Lindell, and it's going to bounce along the sideline and stay in bounds. That's a live ball, and Brad Smith will get tackled at the 13. You cannot do it any better than that. If your wide receivers don't get involved in the blocking, you're not going to run the ball well.
That's exactly right. All you young receivers out there, work on your blocking skills.
Thomas Jones spins out of a tackle and picks up 2 to the 15. Brian Scott on the tackle. Jones 11 carries for 60 yards. He's gone over 1,000 for the 5th consecutive season. Last year he ran for 1,312 yards en route to an appearance in the Pro Bowl.
Well, he's enjoyed a pretty solid offensive line tonight and this year. And the guy who's anchored is right there. Is Thomas Jones is number 60. D'Brickashaw Ferguson. He's had himself an outstanding season.
Aaron Schobel, the defensive end for Buffalo, could not say enough about it. Little screen to Cotchery, cut down at the 11-yard line by Reggie Corner.
That's a good play by Corner, and that's really reading. He's going to come across in motion, and he reads it perfectly, finds his hole, his lane, and shoots his gun. This is what you call shooting your gun right there. See it? Boom, go get it. That's well done.
Loss of 3 on the play. Corner in his second year out of Akron, a 4th-round pick last year. So the Jets will have a 3rd and long. On 3rd downs of 9 or more yards, they're 1 for 2. Remember, on a 3rd and 15, they hit Braylon Edwards, who got loose along the sideline. Sanchez throws it out of bounds. Edwards batted it away, make sure Corner couldn't get it.
That's smart by Sanchez right there, and that's what Rex Ryan was talking about. You know, it's okay to throw it away, live for another down. Don't try to force it. Look at that wrist and see that red, yellow, and green. Throw it out of bounds.
Brian Schottenheimer said, bad decisions we won't accept, bad throws we live with. That was a good decision. Punt by Weatherford. Fair catch by Parrish. We take a look at the key matchup tonight, Darrelle Revis and Terrell Owens.
Well, you take a look at it. There's only 3 balls gone that way, and part of that is because of the coverage of Darrelle Revis. He's been all over it. They've played some zone on him. They've kept the safety over the top at times, but most of the time it's been locked up like you see right there, man-to-man.
That's starting field position for Buffalo tonight. Fitzpatrick has some room into Jet territory, and he dives ahead to the 46. Revis told us film study is really the key, and he's learned how to study film, which has made him a better player. Jackson gets out of a tackle from Harris, and he's near the 1st down marker. Looks like he has it.
Boy, yeah, Fred Jackson's a tough guy. And we talked a little bit about him earlier, but he is a very patient runner. He lets things develop. Here's what happens a lot of times with young players when they come into our league. They come to the National Football League and they expect that a hole is like 3 yards wide with nobody in it. But the reality is a lot of times it's just 2 players back to back or side to side, and you have to force that thing to become a hole.
Alex Van Pelt told us that Jackson's just played better than Marshawn Lynch. Jackson on the carry made the first man miss and gets steamrolled after a gain of 1. He said, look, Jackson is a real football player. Follows his blocks well. He's got the best hands on the team. And, you know, we're just going to go with the guy that's making more plays. Now, Lynch has had a good night. Marshawn Lynch has a touchdown and 5 carries for 58 yards. Jackson just 9 carries for 20 yards.
You see that right there? They split him out, which goes to his hands. But that is called finishing your runs, and that's what he does very well.
2nd and 9. Fitzpatrick trying to find Lee Evans, but again, pressure on the quarterback. Sione Buua got pressure in his face. Bills 1 for 6 on 3rd downs. This will be their 3rd attempt of 9 or more yards. They're 0 for 2, failing on a 3rd and 12 and a 3rd and 10. And a direct snap gets bobbled and picked up by Marshawn Lynch as they were in the shotgun. And it looked like Fitzpatrick kind of looked to his right a little bit and just mishandled it.
Yeah, it didn't go like planned. Looks like it hit him in that spot.
Almost the way, yeah, that spot.
He'll be calling it a little higher the next. Sit, Hut.
So they waste good field position. The way he raised his hands, you almost thought that maybe Marshawn Lynch was going to take a direct snap out of the shotgun. Mormon the punt. Cotchery calls for a fair catch inside the 10. Good punt by Mormon. Jets will start from their own 9. Richardson in motion. Jones the tailback. Thomas Jones gets hit and dropped by George Wilson. Now Mark Sanchez tonight has gone over 2,000 yards passing for the New York Jets. 2nd Jets rookie to throw for 2,000 yards in a season. The other, the great Hall of Famer Joe Namath.
Joe Willie White Shoes.
1965.
Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, down to Alabama, into New York, and then to the Hall of Fame.
2nd and 10. Give it to Jones again. Schobel jumped on his back after Kyle Williams got the first hit. Gain of 4 on the play.
Some pretty physical blocking going on down there, and a good job of getting off blocks by Kyle Williams. He's had a good game here tonight. A couple of sacks, redirects pretty well, uses his hands well.
You know, when we were talking with the Jets last night, they couldn't say enough good things, whether it was Rex Ryan or Brian Schottenheimer or Alan Faneca, about Kyle Williams of the Bills. 3rd and 7. Clowney in motion. Sanchez going to run it, and he's going to get the first down. That time he didn't use the slide. He worked with Yankees manager Joe Girardi earlier this week trying to get him to slide, but that time he went for the first down.
Yeah, it's funny talking to Rex Ryan last night. He said, you know, he has a bad habit of going head first. So he worked on it, and as you can see, it paid off. He goes head first again.
Well, he said he was working with Joe Girardi, the Yankees manager's son. As the Jet fans say, they're happy he didn't slide there because he got a first down.
If he'd have gone feet first, it would have stopped right where his feet first hit.
Richardson again on the quick hitter. Richardson finally knocked out of bounds by Whitner at the 38-yard line. Gain of 17.
Another nice run by Richardson, and another good job of the offensive line of getting into people. They're going to pull Brandon Moore right there. Very well done. They block on the inside. And you think, look at Rex Ryan. He's like, yeah, even Richardson's picking up 17.
Richardson, 37 years of age, the oldest back, halfback, fullback in the NFL. He had 12 rushes coming in. He's got 36 on 2 carries tonight. They give it to Clowney. Gets a block. And Clowney's into Buffalo territory. Stepped out at the 49. Second carry of the season for Clowney. And now Sanchez. Going to limp off. So in comes Kellen Clemens. And Sanchez is going to go to the Jets bench, and they're going to look at that knee.
You watch, it's just a misdirection play. That looked like there's nothing there, but it looked like maybe it happened on the play before or something.
So Kellen Clemens is in for Sanchez. Does the smart thing and gives it off for Thomas Jones, who picks up 4 to the 45-yard line.
And if you're the Buffalo Bills, you take a look, he's looking at that right knee again. Yeah, right, he knows it right there.
You know, we were out walking on the field, and this is a very sticky field turf. And guys were trying different pairs of shoes before the game, and right now the big concern for the Jets is the right knee.
Yeah, that's a draw sign they're trying right there to see how tight that knee is.
Jones.
You know, keep in mind, previous to the play where he handed it off, he took off and he ran and didn't slide. And you wonder if it didn't get hurt on that play.
So Kellen Clemens, 2 years ago, started 8 games for the Jets. He was 3-5. 3rd and 6 at the Buffalo 45. Clemens will get sacked. Schobel will get credit for it.
Watch Schobel coming off the left side of your camera. Does a nice inside move. And really, he's down right there. I don't know who they're going to give it to. They might give it to Johnson. Yeah, right there.
So Weatherford into punt, but the real story right now for the Jets is the injury to Mark Sanchez and his right knee. Parrish lets it bounce.
Oh,
great punt by Weatherford as it took a right-hand turn out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Mark Sanchez taking himself out of the game after a first down run. Looked like he hit his right knee to the turf. And they're going to take him back to the locker. Remember, he hurt his left knee last week in their win against Carolina, as he, on a third down play, sold out to get the first down. Bills will start from inside their own 10. Not a lot of running room for Marshawn Lynch. Harris, Green, Eric Smith all come in to make the tackle.
It looks like when he fell, that he fell right on the knee. Watch at the end. Watch the right knee. It's going to come straight down right there. And you saw him on the sideline, and they were testing it, and they were moving it back and forth. They're testing their drawer sign for the ACL, trying to see if there's any laxity or any movement.
Did stay in for one more play, but as soon as he handed the football off, he waved to the sideline. 2nd and 8 for Fitzpatrick. Can't find Owens. Right near the first down marker. Revis on the coverage. So with 5:04 to go in the third, Mark Sanchez has made the long walk back to the Jets locker room. They'll take a look at that right knee.
Yeah, maybe they'll just tape it up and give it a little support and get him back out here.
We'll bring you any update as it unfolds for Sanchez. Sanchez 7 of 15 for 104 yards and a touchdown. Lynch and Jackson in the backfield on a 3rd and 8.
Pressure off the side.
Blitz is on, middle of the field, dropped by Owens at the 21-yard line.
And that you can't have. At T.O., you're not getting many throws because Revis is all over him. And you're going to watch it right here. Revis on the top side, Rhodes in the middle. That's got to be a first down. Instead, he dropped it.
Dropped it before Kerry Rhodes even hit him. So one of the rare opportunities for Terrell Owens, but he's not able to hold on. That would have been a first down. Jets should get good field position. Mormon drives this kick, sending Cotchery back to the 35. Cotchery can't get to the outside. He'll get tackled at the 47. 57-yard punt, 12-yard return. Kellen Clemens in a quarterback for the Jets. Mark Sanchez is returned questionable. Kellen Clemens, a 2nd-round pick in 2006. 2007, the Jets' offensive line was decimated. Chad Pennington got hurt. Clemens started 3 of 5 games, 5 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Last year behind Brett Favre, just threw 5 passes. Does the next best thing and gives it off to Sean Green, who takes it to the Buffalo 41, a gain of 13.
And so what the Jets do is they come out and they just go 2 tight ends and they start pounding things. And now they got an extra lineman in also. They bring in Wayne Hunter on the other side. You see him right there, number 78, and they're just going to play power ball. And so you'd expect to see a counter here from Perry Fuel, the defensive call, to try to get people up. You got one receiver, let him match up on the outside. You see it here. Now get people up in the box and take the run away.
In fact, they have 7 linemen up there now as they give it off to Green. Gets hit, picks up about 2 to the 38-yard line. The Jets with 191 yards rushing so far tonight.
Yeah, here you can see number 78, Wayne Hunter, and Sean Green behind him. Just a little shift, puts him up in the line of scrimmage to become a tight end, and then just go hat on a hat. He's on Brian Scott, the safety turned linebacker. That's a mismatch. 2nd and
8. Green again, cut down by Kyle Williams and George Wilson.
Yeah, George Wilson comes off the edge. That's a good play. And this is what we were talking about. Here's the counter by Perry Fuel. Okay, you're going to go and you want to try to muscle us. We're going to give you more numbers. The running game, whether you're on offense or defense, is all about numbers. And if you gain an advantage with an extra blocker, generally you win.
Between 5 and 8 yards, the Jets 2 for 4 on their 3rd down attempts. Danny Woodhead in the backfield with Kellen Clemens.
Showing a double-A gap.
And the snap never comes from Nick Mangold. It'll be a false start against the Jets.
False start, offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty, third down.
So now the Jets will have a 3rd and long, 1 for 3 in third downs of 9+.
There's Damien Woody. Had played center up in New England. Played guard.
Made the Pro Bowl as a center in 2002.
Exactly. Moved him out to tackle, and that's what he's playing right now. He's in Detroit. He played as guard and a tackle. The Jets took him in free agency and made him a tackle full time.
In his second year with the Jets. 3rd and 12. Clemens with plenty of time. Clemens has a first down at Cotchery. His forward progress is going to be marked at the 29, so that's a first down, gain of 14.
Yeah, there they're going man under and 2 deep. So you got help over the top, and so you want to get in a trail position. Dante Whitner got on the inside, and Cotchery felt it and just broke to the outside.
Jets now 2 for 4 on 3rd and longs. They hit a 3rd and 15 in the first half and a 3rd and 12 here. Green, the tailback, behind Kellen Clemens. Green to the 26-yard line. George Wilson on the tackle.
And that's that extra guy. Once you come up there and you're the safety, they don't account for you. And then you get to the football.
Reggie Corner goes out. Jarris Bird comes in as an extra defensive back. Wayne Hunter on the sideline for this play. 5 plays, 29 yards on the drive. Big 3rd down conversion to Cotchery. Green hit in the backfield, fighting for extra yardage. Posluszny finally wraps him up after Chris Draft got the first hit on him. So with 1 minute to go in the 3rd, Jets with a 6-point lead. Trying to make it a 2-score game.
Well, they play in the numbers game on 1st and 2nd down, and then they'll try to go to the sticks here for these throws for Clemens. Generally, outside throws are safer for a quarterback here.
Thomas Jones has checked in at tailback on a 3rd and 5. Jones hit at the 20, and he's going to be about a half-yard short of the first down. Gain of 4 on the play in what should be the final play of the 4th quarter.
And should take the points, the 3-point here, and make it a 2-score game.
Thomas Jones, 16 carries, 71 yards. And Rex Ryan will let the quarter run out. Get set for the start of the 4th quarter. Let's check in with Solomon Wilcots of NFL Network on Mark Sanchez.
Hey, Bob, I just followed Mark Sanchez into this x-ray room where they took him in to take a look at the knee. And then moments ago, he just came back out. They took him into the locker room where they were carrying an extra brace. Remember, he's already wearing a brace on his left knee. They took him into the locker room. He's now being fitted for a brace on that right knee. Let's see if he can come back into the game and play with a brace on both knees. Back to you.
All right, Solly, the Jets have run for 201 yards through 3 quarters. Jay Feely's going to try to make it a 2-possession game here on the first play of the 4th quarter. He's hit all 3 of his field goals.
Here's Solomon Wilcots. You know, that's an old player talking. The old Bengal, the first thing he said, see if he gets back on the field.
Feely from 37. And Feely is true again. Terrell Owens, 1 catch for 6 yards. Feely with the kickoff. It'll come down to Fred Jackson from the 3. Jackson, some hard running out to the 27-yard line. Special teams ace Larry Izzo on the tackles. You get a look at Bobby April, longtime special teams coach with the Buffalo Bills in his 6th year in Buffalo. Spent 3 years in St. Louis, 4 with New Orleans. And Mike Westhoff, the dean of special teams coaches, in his 9th year with the Jets, had 15 years with the Miami Dolphins.
Mike's been doing it a long time.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, 6 of 14 for 70 yards. He's got 32 yards rushing.
He's got to find Lee Evans here sooner or later.
Screen for Jackson. Jets bottle it up nicely, and Bart Scott made the play, limiting it to a gain of 3.
There's Lee Evans, 83. You know, this Jets secondary has really covered these receivers pretty well tonight. There really hasn't been much room to be able to throw. They've walked up on a man-to-man. They've played a couple different defenses. They've played quarters a little bit and halves, but most of the time they've locked up in man. Take a good look at Lito Shepherd, who's been on the other side with Lee Evans, and then Darrelle Revis, as we've talked about on T.O.
Evans beat him for 38 yards on the first possession of the game. 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick in a whale of trouble, and he's going to get sacked by Sean Ellis.
Sean Ellis should turn around and kiss the secondary because there was nowhere to go with that ball.
How about the nose guard, Mike DeVito? Got a good push.
Yeah, and see, he's looking, and the ball has to come out a little quicker. And you can see there's nowhere to go with the ball.
2 sacks for the Jets. Loss of 6. 3rd and 13. Buffalo 0 for 3 on 9+ on their 3rd downs. 1 of 8 overall. Blitz on. Fitzpatrick for Evans. Incomplete as Fitzpatrick took another shot.
And they're getting
Smith on the coverage.
Yeah, and they're getting good pressure inside. And here comes Eric Smith, the safety, and all that is just 4 to the weak side. And it's a zone blitz. And they bring the same. You know, this Jet defense, they blitz a ton of secondary people. They bring linebackers, they bring safeties, they bring a lot of them. And all they're trying to do is give you numbers. And if you keep 3 in, they bring 4, you can't pick it up.
Mormon with a short punt. Patry lets it bounce at the 30. He'll pick it up at the 22. And then he gets thrown out of bounds near the 25-yard line by John Wendling. Ryan Fitzpatrick is trying to take a look at what the Jets are throwing at him. He can't get the ball to Terrell Owens or Lee Evans. And now the Jets, behind Kellen Clemens, have a 1st and 10. Mark Sanchez returned questionable after injuring his knee in the 3rd quarter. Clemens to throw is going to get hit and sacked by Chris Kelsey. Loss of 2 on the play.
Good job of rushing the passer, but another good job of coverage down the field. And Clemens really never even gets a chance to set his feet. He's going to go down. He does the play action. Look down the field. There's not much. No, it looked like he may have had somebody on that skinny post.
Take a look at the coverage cam. And that was on the previous possession, the coverage that the Jets have thrown at Buffalo. Now Kellen Clemens is going to call a timeout. That's their first charge timeout with 12:34 to go. Watching teams drive down the field and watching great red zone, not only offense, but defense.
Exactly.
2nd down, Thomas Jones picks up a yard.
You look at Rex Ryan, what he's saying right now is, listen, we got a 2-score game. My defense is playing lights out. There's no place to throw the ball. We've been covering them, and the run game has been stopped. We're in control of the game, so he's just going to run this football and not take any chances.
And my starting quarterback is in the locker room.
Exactly.
As they look at his right knee. Jones 17 carries, 72 yards. Jets 2 for 4 on 3rd downs of 9 or more yards.
Showing that double-A gap again. They're backing out, playing the zone.
Kellen Clemens trying to throw a screen, but Woodhead got knocked down by Kyle Williams, and he was unavailable.
And a smart move by Clemens not to take any chances. Let his defense go ahead and do it. And this is what they're doing. They're going to show up right inside. They're going to show that double-A gap. That's for protection. And then nice job by Kyle Williams when he sees that Woodhead's going to come back inside for the screen. He just grabs him and throws him down. Clemens dumps it.
Steve Weatherford punt. Short kick. Roscoe Parrish called for a fair catch and then started running with it with 11:40 to go.
The Colts and the Saints are at the top of their game. Both those quarterbacks You don't get any better than that right now.
Last year, Indy and Jacksonville put on a show on Thursday Night Football. Fitzpatrick.
A lot of time.
With time, looking for Owens. Well covered, and Revis nearly had the interception.
T.O. can't stop like that. He's got to turn into a defender. He can't allow that thing to even be attempted to be a pick. Revis is running stride for stride. He's got the speed to be able to do it. Ball's in the air. He just stopped. He can't do that. He's got to go up and try to become a defender.
And that's a rare drop by Darrelle Revis. He has 4 picks. He had a 67-yard interception return for a touchdown. He has tremendous hands when it comes to interceptions. Owens, 1 catch for 6 yards. 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick in tight coverage, and Shepard all over Lee Evans.
You know, I got to tell you, these corners are playing lights out. Lito Shepard on one side, Darrelle Revis on the other. They're just mirroring them all over the field. It doesn't get any better than that. That's outstanding coverage.
Well, the Bills are 1 for 9 on 3rd downs. One of the reasons, 4 of their attempts have been 9 or more yards. This will be the 5th attempt of 9 or more yards. And as Alex Van Pelt told us, you got to hold your breath against this Jet defense on 3rd downs, especially 3rd and long. Fitzpatrick threw it late. Revis nearly had the pick intended for Josh Reed.
Well, he was just sitting back there and just looking at everything. And his eyes are back on the quarterback. And when that throwing motion starts, he just breaks perfectly. Watch him sit back on it. He's turning it back over to the safety. Somebody goes away, somebody's coming back. Here comes Josh Reed. Here comes the throw. Had a chance at a pick.
Credit James Ihedebo for getting the pressure on the quarterback. 5th 3 and out for Buffalo. Mormon to Cotchery. Flag on the play as Cotchery takes it out to the 30-yard line. We'll check the flag with 11:07 to go in the ball game, and the Jets by 9. 2 flags down back at the 18-yard line. Scott Green will sort it out.
During the return, holding number 17 receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Back in Toronto, the Jets with a 9-point lead against the Buffalo Bills. 11:07 to go in the ballgame as the Jets try to get to the 500 mark at 6-6. Probably needing to win their remaining games to get in the AFC wildcard picture. You could also make a scenario with New England playing Miami this weekend. The Jets, depending on the outcome of that game, could be competing for a division title. Cotchery in motion. On the run, Sean Green takes it out to the 15-yard line, gain of 6. Green 10 carries, 58 yards. Jones 17 carries, 72 yards. The Jets with 208 yards rushing.
Over 200 yards rushing the football. And the Bills, they haven't been thrown on, but they haven't had to.
The Jets hit a couple of key 3rd and longs.
Right.
Kept some drives alive. In week 6, 318 yards rushing. Tonight, 208. Green on a 2nd and 4. Got to bounce it outside, plus Lusney right there to shut it down and hold it to a gain of 1. I really like Sean Green coming out of college, out of Iowa, taken in the 3rd round by the Jets.
Yeah, I thought that was a good pick for the Jets, and especially in the 3rd round. This kid, he's got power, he's got patience. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He has a nice feet. It'll just be a little bit of time, but it's a good player.
Jets will have a 3rd and 3 from the 16-yard line as Thomas Jones comes back in. Between 2 and 4 yards, the Jets are 0 for 3.
Empty backfield, nobody back there. 5 receivers out.
Clemens gets hit. The live ball recovered by Ferguson of the Jets. at the 6.
That was
Podlesny got the hit.
Yeah, he came inside out, saw it and just burst on it. And it looked like Clemens, his arm may have been coming forward. Let's take a look at it.
First sack of the year for Podlesny.
See him in the middle. They're locked up. Man all around, one free, and then he's inside out. No, that's a fumble all the way.
And a huge recovery by D'Brickashaw Ferguson, with Buffalo doing nothing offensively. They should get good field position with Parrish here, and he'll get no yards on the return after a 44-yard punt. Matt Cavanaugh, longtime quarterback coach, talking with Kellen Clemens.
Both these teams playing good coverage. I mean, that coverage the last time, they went one free deep, and then they took Podlesny and dropped him in the middle, and he was what you call robbing. He was just sitting in the middle, trying to knock off anybody or looking for any crossing routes inside. And then once it defines itself, Podlesny, who comes complete with a nice little cut in the chin there, burst and made the sack.
What would you expect from a Penn State linebacker?
That's what they're supposed to play like.
Fourth possession of the second half for Buffalo. They have 10 yards total on those 4 possessions. Fitzpatrick, Owens got the feet down, first down. Second catch for T.O.
Nicely protected.
Gain of 15.
Yeah, good job of protection in the pocket. It allows him to be able to step and throw with good mechanics. And this time you're going to run him off and just, he's playing in the zone. He's just staying on top. See the run out and then to the outside and the ball's there.
Toss to Jackson. Jets do a great job on the edge, holding it to no gain. Marcus Douglas with the play.
You know, this is a stadium here. You look at Darrelle Revis's shoes. This stadium is not familiar to either of these teams. And so if you're going to play on this surface, you gotta know exactly what you're running on and what you're playing in. It was interesting watching these guys in the pregame, trying to see which shoes were right for the surface.
Bills down by 9. 8:10 to go. 2nd and 10. Owens on the slant. Has the first down to the 25. Gain of 10 on the play. 3rd catch for T.O.
And here's one of the guys, Darrelle Revis. Now, here's the old rule. The rule is you see them, they're looking out there. The rule was you get out early and you go watch the home team players and what they're wearing. And you watch them run around, and then you see the type of shoe, and then you go back and you change it. Well, they didn't have that. So Darrelle Revis had to go through a few pairs. He had the smooth bottom, he had the 5/8, and then he went with the molded cleats here.
We even talked with Larry Izzo, the special teams ace for the Jets, about that same thing. 1st and 10. Jackson has a first down before he's cut down at the 12. Gain of 13.
And a nice block by Nathan Stupar. Or Jonathan Stupar. Nathan's his brother. Plays at Penn State as a linebacker. You're going to watch him come across right there. See that block? Good job by Jonathan. And that allows Jackson to get to that 2nd level and picks up the first down.
Jonathan Stupar, the nephew of former Giant Raiders quarterback Jeff Hostetler.
His dad played at Penn State, but he got all of his athleticism from his mom.
1st and 10. Jackson again. Nothing doing. Bart Scott with a big hit after a gain of 1.
So they come back to the very same play. And so if it works once, let's make them stop it. This time, the Jets do just that. You're going to watch Stupar come back again. Now watch them redirect. Forces them back up inside. Bart Scott makes the stop.
Jamon Meredith, the right tackle, missed his block that would have sealed Scott.
This is the 9th configuration for offensive line.
Direct snap to Jackson. Did not fool the Jets, and Jackson is going to lose 3.
That almost looked like it was going to be a throw. It almost looked, the way they set it up, like it was going to be a pass that went awry, and he had to turn it into a run.
Trying any way to get the ball in the end zone. They have 1 touchdown. That was the Marshawn Lynch touchdown run back in the first half.
Both Lynch and Jackson are now in the backfield.
So 3rd and 13. Jets with pressure. Pass intended for Reed, nearly intercepted. Revis with another chance for a pick.
And Lito Shepherd was all over it. Watch Lito Shepherd takes the inside and then break on it. Look at that. That's really well done. That's good defense. He eyeballs it the whole way, and that's what Lito Shepherd was looking at. He held that inside position. Once you see that move, your eyes go back inside. The quarterback's eyeballing it, and you make the play.
32-yard field goal for Lindell. And he knocks it right down the middle. Back in Toronto, the Jets with a 6-point lead with 5:28 to go in the ball game. Bob Papa along with Matt Millen. Kellen Clemens in for an injured Mark Sanchez, who injured his right knee in the 3rd quarter. And Ryan Lindell's field goal from 32 yards out gets Buffalo to within 1 touchdown. Smith from the goal line. Brad Smith can't turn the corner, gets out to the 25, run out by John Wendland.
Man-to-man up top. Numbers inside.
Clemens under pressure. Clemens is going to get positive play as he's hit by Dante Whitner at the 31-yard line. Ryan Denny had pressure but couldn't contain.
He wanted to go to the receiver up top. It was man-to-man on the top side. Here's Braylon Edwards trying to get on top of Drayton Florence and doesn't do it. And then Denny gets the pressure and he beats him to the edge and forces Whitner to make the tackle.
And Kellen Clemens picked up 6 yards, stayed in bounds. Clock moves with 4:44 to go. Buffalo has all 3 timeouts remaining. Thomas Jones slips through a hole.
Nice hit.
That stopped a yard short of the 1st down. Brian Scott, who had to move to linebacker because of all the injuries from his safety spot, made the tackle.
Where'd he go to school? That was a good hit.
Where do you think he went?
I don't know. It must be a place that's good discipline.
You only talk about Penn State?
Oh, he's Penn State. That's a shock. Watch the hit at the end. It's really well done.
How about this? This is the first 3rd and 1 for either team tonight.
It's a big play for both sides at the 4-minute mark. 1-score game.
Richardson, the fullback. Strong formation to the right. Thomas Jones has the 1st down. Just across the 35. And the clock continues to move with 3:40 to go. They brought Wayne Hunter in. They had Hartsock in. They went to the right.
And they got good pressure. You see, Ryan, that's not Denny. Denny's 92. They got good penetration up inside. That was Chris Kelsey.
Well, the Jets with 537 yards rushing against Buffalo this season. Franchise record for a single season against one team. 524 against the Patriots. Emerson Boozer and John
32.
Riggins.
Oh, Riggo.
Number 44, the running back for the Jets back in '72. And the Buffalo Bills have burned one of their 3 timeouts with 3:36 to go in the ball game, down by 6.
Little Emerson Boozer and Matt Snell, they won the Super Bowl in '69. That was a good tandem.
Not mistaken, Emerson Boozer wore number 32. Riggins was 44.
32 and 41 for Matt Snell.
Riggins with the Mohawk. Thomas Jones gets tripped up by George Wilson. And Buffalo will call another timeout with 3:31. They'll have 1 remaining in the 2-minute warning.
That's that extra guy off the edge again.
I'm going to take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Huge implications here. You take a look at the division leaders. New England at 7-4 plays at Miami, a place that they have traditionally struggled. And if the Jets could get to 500 here and Miami somehow beats New England, suddenly Miami and the Jets would be within 1 game of the New England Patriots. The problem for the Jets right now is that they're 1-4 in the AFC East. You know, when Philadelphia came back a couple of years ago, back in 2006, they showed it on the pregame show, the graphic, and they made the postseason at 5-6. The key was the Eagles, with Jeff Garcia as quarterback, had a 3-game road trip. New York, Dallas, and Washington, and they won all 3 in a row. They had division games left. That could be the one thing that could hurt the Jets. They split with New England, and they were swept by Miami.
But this is the division game that they have to win.
2nd and 11. Clemens bobbled the snap, and Jones will get a half-yard. Buffalo will burn their final timeout with 3:25 to go.
They've set up a 3rd and 10. You're right, he fumbled the ball coming out from center and then got it to Thomas Jones late. Jones wasn't able to follow any kind of blocking. Instead had to take it on the backside. Watch this. Now see, he pulled out and he closed his hands. It's like he didn't break a finger right there. Mangold snapped the ball when his hands came together. Stroud comes over. Now here's a question that you have to ask yourself if you're the New York Jets. Do we take a chance and throw the ball here and risk stopping the clock? Or do we keep the clock running and hand it off at 3:25?
All right, what would you do? What do you think Brian Schottenheimer's going to do?
I think he hasn't had much success throwing the football, so I'd continue to run the clock and trust my defense.
Remember, Kellen Clemens was sacked earlier, fumbled it, but DeBrickashaw Ferguson recovered it, or else Buffalo would have had the ball at about the 10. Jones the tailback on a 3rd and 10. Kellen Clemens on the bootleg, chased by Schobel, and he gets tripped up by Schobel. No gain on the play.
That was
Jets go 3 and out.
That was smart. So you fake the run to the top side, and you get Clemens outside, but Schobel does a nice job. He fooled him once early, and they got the redirection on him on the reverse, and this time he runs him down and just trips him up at the end. Just catches that foot, that ankle right there, and sets up a 4th down, but the clock keeps moving.
Steve Weatherford into punt. He'll let that play clock get all the way down to almost 1.
And now for the Bills, it's 4 downs. Now the game's on the line, 2.5 minutes to go. You use all 4 downs.
Takes the snap with 1 on the play clock. High kick. Roscoe Parrish with a fair catch at the 23. With 2:32 to go. You know, we talked about these 2 great special teams coaches, Mike Westhoff of the Jets and Bobby April. Bobby got to get his head on a swivel.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line. Look at the face. Did you see his eyes go up when he knew it was good? See, you also, if you're going to coach, you have to be able to react. And the reaction you're not looking for is your eyebrows going up. You really want to see your feet move instead.
Wallace Wright got a hit on him. All right, so Buffalo's out of timeouts. They're down by 6. The only way they could stop the clock is on an incomplete pass and the 2-minute warning. They'll start at their own 23-yard line. We're going to go 77 yards to take the lead.
Okay, so now's the time. You've played a great game defensively, Lito Shepherd, Darrelle Revis, all night long. Now is the only time that matters.
Well, Sean Ellis says, I'll take care of that as he gets the sack.
Big sack by Sean Ellis, back inside.
Loss of 10.
Yeah, he just beats the left guard right there. See, I'm sorry, he's inside. That's Hangartner. Just went right past him.
2nd and 21. Fitzpatrick trying to find Owens. Intercepted by Darrelle Revis. His 5th of the season.
Humberto, that's what we're talking about. If you're a big-time player, and in these situations, this is when you make a big-time play.
It says, I look at tendencies first, then I'll study the quarterback, then I'll go to formations. He stores that all in his memory bank, and that's why he's one of the best, if not the best right now in the NFL. Thomas Jones with a carry for 3. Number 24, he gets his 5th pick. He has played an incredible football game, holding Terrell Owens to 3 catches for 31 yards, and vexing quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick 9 of 23 for 98 yards and a pick. Buffalo out of timeouts, 2nd and 7 with 1:57 to go, and the Jets by 6. Thomas Jones, a first down and more. Jones shouldered down by Florence at the 29-yard line as Thomas Jones goes over 100 yards with a gain of 29.
And smart at the end to make sure he just gets down and let the clock run. And you're not going to do it alone in the running game. Does a nice job right there. A good job of the offensive line. He just takes it back to the backside.
Jets with 251 yards rushing. And now the Jets can go to the victory formation with Buffalo out of timeouts and 1:09 remaining. So the Jets will finish their AFC East schedule with a 2-4 record. They get to the 500 mark at 6-6 and keep their playoff hopes alive.
Oh, Rex Ryan's got to be happy, and I know his dad's at home watching this thing, and I know old Buddy's got to be happy for his son.
Well, take a look at the Jets' schedule the rest of the way. They stand at 6-6. They'll take on the 1-10 Tampa Bay Bucks in Tampa. Atlanta's banged up. They'll have them at Giant Stadium on December the 20th. And they've got an opportunity. And now they'll be pulling hard for Miami on Sunday against New England. Trying to get to within 1 game of the division lead.
Now, Darrelle Revis played himself a heck of a game, as did Lito Shepherd on the other side. And if they play like that, Bob, and the teams you're talking about down the stretch here, if they can shut down the coverage, that allows that front to do a lot of things defensively. But they're going to need their quarterback.
Mark Sanchez left the game in the 3rd quarter when he injured his right knee, did not come back. Kellen Clemens did the smart thing. He handed the ball off to Sean Green. Revis, who made the Pro Bowl last year, he had 5 interceptions. He's got 5 this year. And Revis with just another spectacular effort. We showed you the graphic earlier of what he's done against the elite receivers of the opposition so far this season. 38 plays, 9 balls thrown toward Owens' way, 3 catches, 31 yards.